y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Sisters in Crime with Shy and Toy. I'm Toy, of course, that's short for Latoya.
And I'm Shy, and that's short for Shamia.
And today, we're right back at it with a true crime episode.
Oh, mine don't do that. Mine is basic, but y'all feel the love anyway.
So, we've been on a little hiatus. Life be life and things happen.
Yes.
But we are back with another true crime episode, and I don't think y'all gonna be disappointed today. As always, please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. If you have any recommendations on a case you may want us to cover, feel free to send us an email. Our email is always in the bar below. It is SistasinCrimewithShiandToy@gmail.com. I spaced out for a minute. So our YouTube handle, TikTok, and Instagram. But again, all the action be happening on TikTok. Like
it does.
Got Instagram, YouTube, but the action really happened on TikTok. Also, we may have something in the works for y'all. We've been considering going live on TikTok and reading some true crime cases. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. Again, please follow us over there so that when we do go live, you won't miss a notification.
Absolutely.
Without further ado, I'm going to let my sister start us off with Miss, Sade. Mm-hmm. I heard people say it differently. Sade Carlina Robinson.
Yeah, right. I think it's pronounced Sade. I hope so. Trust me, us mispronouncing her name means no disrespect to her. This case, from the moment it hit the news, and unfortunately, it didn't get a lot of traction at first, but thankfully, one of these great things about social media, that's what helped TikTok. Like, people saying, like, why isn't this getting the news? And like, it just was this widespread, us, right?
We go and we don't get a lot of news,
right? Unfortunately, that's what it is. When black women, black men go missing, there's not a lot of traction with that. That's just facts. Sorry. If that offends anybody, I really don't care, but I mean what I said. Right. So this case, like I said, from the moment it hit the news and I learned about it, it really broke my heart because she was so young. And it's just a cautionary tale, y'all, about dating nowadays. And not to say this couldn't happen years ago, but this is just a cautionary tale of the world we live in and how careful you have to be when dating. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to start off with a little background about Sade. And like I said, if I mispronounce her name, I am so sorry. No disrespect, but from my background, I know people with this name spelling, and she's named Sade. So Sade Robinson was a 19-year-old. She was born in Mississippi, but relocated to Milwaukee with her mom. She went back and forth from Florida to Milwaukee because her father lived in Florida and her mom lived in Milwaukee. So that's where she split her time. So her family and friends just described her as this ambitious young woman, always had a smile on her face. Her employer described her as very outgoing. She would talk to anybody at work, and that she was always, positive, and she always just like lightened the mood at work. So everybody just liked to be around her. She was also a criminal justice student at the Milwaukee Area Technical College, and she was set to graduate the week later. Unfortunately, I have to say the week later because we're getting into the case, and unfortunately, she would not make it to graduation. On April 1st, I'm sorry, I said first, I mean first. Sade reportedly told an employee at her apartment complex that she was very excited about a date she was going on that evening. So she had planned her first date. I don't know if this was her first date ever, but this was her first date with a man named Maxwell Anderson. Maxwell was 33. Immediately, that was concerning to me. I'm not the type of person that is kind of like, I don't have my red flags today. They're over there. I'm not going to get them. But for the ones watching, for the ones listening and not watching, my sister's holding up a red flag. So I'm not really one of those people who are caught up on age gaps and all that stuff. I'm really not. But when you got a 19-year-old and a 33-year-old man, I'm just thinking in my head, like, what do y'all even have in common?
What you want from her?
Right. So I was like, nah, red flag there. But, you know, unfortunately, I don't really know what I have to say about that. But they met at a local seafood restaurant called the Twisted Fisherman. Now, cell phone records from Sade to Maxwell indicated that she told him she was feeling seafood. And that's when she headed out to meet him at the restaurant. So Sade and Maxwell, I think allegedly they met online. That's how they met, like online on a dating app. And it was reported that Maxwell was actually a previous employee of the Twisted Fisherman. I don't know how long it had been since he was an employee, but W-2s did come out saying he was an employee. So around 6:30 that evening, after they had dinner, the two left. They ended up going. They drove in Sade's car. They drove to a place called Dukes on Water. I assume this is like a bar. And there, while she was there, Sade sent her friend like a Snapchat, just, I guess she was being cute or whatever. You know how we do. So she sent a snap to her friend, and they were able to see where her and Maxwell and Sade left the bar around 9 o'clock or so. So after that, cell phone records show that Sade's phone was located in an area near Maxwell's home, which, let them know she was still with him. They were able to find some surveillance cameras and showed two people showing up at his house and going into the house in the middle of the night. So now we're heading into the wee hours of April. It's April 2nd, but in the early morning. So y'all, this is kind of a lot, so brace yourself. Me and my sister just gonna go back and forth with this. But this is like a timeline, and it's a short timeline, but there's so much you have to know in regards to this situation. Around 12:45, the tech and I keep if you've heard about this case, you know what the ending is. Unfortunately, it's really traumatic. I should have gave a trigger warning before we started.
We're gonna get one now because so far they've been fine up to now. So
Yeah, they've been fine up to now, but I think going forward we need a trigger warning because it is a lot. Even like I said, when I learned about it, it just like broke my heart, and it's really like if mutilation and all of that stuff really bothers you, maybe this is the video you should skip over. We do have some other content that you can watch that is less you know less dramatic and a little more upbeat, including our after shows. You can watch those too. So we're going to get into the timeline. So around 12:45, Sade's phone, they have records where her phone leaves. Now they still, they're just assuming that Sade, because at this time, let me go back. So on April 2nd, her family is texting her friends are texting her, and they begin to worry because it's not like her to not make contact. It's not like her to, not touch bases, whether it's like through an app like Snap or just text messages. Also, what was the red flag was she didn't show up to work. And her supervisor, because she worked at a pizza place in Milwaukee, um, and her supervisor said, she didn't show up for work, and that was completely unlike her because she was very reliable and she would never ever miss a shift, right? So the family became concerned. So of course, they follow missing persons report. Then, I don't know about you, but I follow about y'all. Sorry, I know my sister does. I share my location with people at all times that they know where I am, especially if I'm by myself or something like that, or even if I'm not. I mean, it's just good to share your locations. She was sharing her location with her friend and her mom through an app. I think it's called Life 360. So they noticed that her phone was just like indetectable. So of course the police get involved. They're trying to track her phone. So here's where we are. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Here's where we are. So they were able to ping the phone and see that at around 12:45, her phone had left Maxwell's house. It traveled through Milwaukee downtown and the area near her apartment, which was like going north in the city. So it also pinged to an area called Pleasant Valley Park. So this was about 1:30, in which this Pleasant Valley Park was near Milwaukee River. I have never been to Milwaukee, so I don't know any of these areas. This is just based off the research that I found. So, like I said, went to Pleasant Valley Park. They saw that, there was a signal there. Also at 2 a.m., that brings us to 2 a.m., the phone shows that the phone left and leaves the area and heads to the Warnemont Park. And I can't pronounce that, but if you're from Milwaukee, you know where that is. And the phone,
Kudahi.
Kudahai, or something
Yeah,
like that.
y'all know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
Cudahy. Kudahi.
yeah. Forgive me. So around 2 a.m., they saw that where the phone left this area, Sade's phone left this area and headed to the Kudahai, and arriving at 2:45. So around 2:53, they catch surveillance. There were some surveillance cameras from the Kudahai High School that show a car headed toward the pump house in the park. So this becomes, it gets to be concerning because, her phone is going here, there, and everywhere, and they're capturing a human being, but it's one human being. But, at that point, they couldn't tell if it was a man or a woman, but they just noticed that this car is going to all of these destinations. So around 3:02, they did catch a human being coming from the bluff at the beach level. I guess this is like an area where there's a body of water. I try to look at the map, and it does look like it's near a body of water. All of these spots that this car was traveling. So around 4:30, the car leaves the park, and minutes later, the phone dies. So I'm gonna let my sister take over from the timeline. After this, the surveillance cameras capture a white male walking from a car fire that's burning in the parking lot. There was a witness who told law enforcement that he saw the male exit the vehicle, toss a lighter into the car, and walked away. And the male was wearing a gray hoodie and a tan backpack.
All right. So after the lady, which was someone who stayed in the area in front of the alley where the car that was on fire was found, she of course did notify police. They did determine that the car was Sade's car, but there was no sign of Sade. Now, mind you, in this particular point, the family, especially the mom, already suspects foul play because things that have transpired, not talking to her daughter, her not responding. Then she mysteriously receives like a $15 cash app where she says, it was not very typical of her daughter. Like if she needed $15, she was going to send her $15. But her daughter was very much independent. And I guess she prided herself on that because a lot of her friends and family described her as the independent type. Mm-hmm. But she like me, it's not a day go by that I don't talk to my mama. I don't care if it's a phone call or a text message. Now, sometimes if I done had a long day or a rough day, I'll shoot a text, and I be being funny, but I say, hey, I'm still alive. I'm just tired, that kind of. But it was not a day that went by that Sade did not talk to her mama. So, mama red flag is already going off. Now, she also found close to this car when authorities arrived was a blanket. And they also found across the street some human body parts. Now, a member of that community located a leg in the park about 10 miles away from Sade's home. Now, the police had already went to Sade's home looking for her because the family called in a welfare check, and they did not find anything out of the ordinary at her house. So, of course, this was all suspicious. Meantime, between time, they, of course, trying to backtrack her steps, go to the bars and things. There was a bartender that told the police, we saw they were kind of just seen having casual conversation before they left together. So it's really suspicious that the bartender sees them leave together, but then only this white male is found driving
her car around town to random spots in the town.
And now they got her car on fire and some body parts, a leg in the park. Yeah.
And she's still missing.
She's still missing. So over the next, I guess, few hours, because all this is the next day. She
Yeah.
went missing on Monday, April the 1st, following this date. This is all transpiring on April the 2nd.
Yes.
They start finding body parts, okay?
Yeah.
A trigger warning.
Yeah.
We already gave you
Like
one, but
we said, trigger warning. All right.
yeah, if you can't handle that.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to ID Maxwell because, again, as my sister stated, the restaurant they went to, he actually used to be an employee at. So when they go to interview the staff there, they're able to let them know, hey, it was Maxwell Anderson that she was with. And of course, he fit the description of the figure that they're seeing on the surveillance driving around inside a car, like he was right. So they arrested him on April the 4th. And then on April the 5th, they ended up charging him with first degree homicide, mutilation of a corpse, and arson in connection with the disappearance and death of Sade Robinson. They found evidence at his home because they had a search warrant when they searched Maxwell's home, and there was blood found in several different locations of his home, including his bedding and the path leading to his basement. So allegedly, after they left the restaurant, went to another bar, and when they left there together, allegedly they went back to Maxwell's house. Now, a lot of people are questioning all this blood leading down to his basement because when they actually did DNA testing, the blood was found that it was not Sade's blood that was leading down to his basement. So now they like, whose blood is it? So a lot of people, if y'all remember this case on TikTok at the time and social media, a lot of people was wondering if this man was a serial killer. Because it's like, if it's not Sade blood,
who
blood? Who blood is it? Because he had more victims that we don't know about. Because that's what made me tune into it. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But now,
and they need to look into that because why is there, and they even said, the investigator said it was a significant amount of blood too. Yeah. This wasn't like a little sprinkle here. No, it was a significant amount of blood. And I want to know whose blood was mixed up with Sade's. I want to know.
Now, they say that more than likely it was Maxwell's blood. But I'm like, would you not obtain a warrant to get his DNA in order to test it and compare it? Because it sounds like speculation. Authorities, one of the officers on the case said that more than likely it was Maxwell's own blood. But is that what the test results show?
Because that's easy. Do a DNA sample. That's easy.
It was easy for y'all to compare it to Sade. Why you can't compare it to him?
That's insane, but okay.
Now, I feel like they probably wouldn't be able to determine if it was any other victims unless other victims' DNA was already in the system.
Yeah.
But they definitely, if they haven't already from the research I was looking at, I didn't see any indication where they said definitively this was Maxwell's blood. It like a lot of blood leading down to the basement, which it could have been, because if you chop a person up, that takes a lot of exertion and a lot of effort, and a lot of times you end up injuring yourself. I've seen that in several cases that involve body mutilation. And before, I never understood the process behind not only taking someone's life, but you take it a step further and cut them up. It makes it easier to dispose of them. Apparently, is why they do it, y'all. I don't agree with it, but I had to look into that myself because I was like, that just, you have to be in a different mental state in order to chop up a body. Okay.
Yeah, to kill someone is one thing, but to go forward and like chop it up, and unfortunately, like even when the detectives found the first body part, which was a leg, they were able to tell like the leg had been detached from the hip. Yeah. So that would take a lot of power to do that. Yeah, and like you said, where are you at mentally to want to chop someone's body up and discard it the city?
You need to go see the lady. You need to go talk to the lady.
Yeah.
One of them is therapist, psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Somebody.
And I'm just sorry, like you can't, I'm just sorry. They need to look into other cases in that city because you don't get, in my opinion, what we've saw in the cases we present is serial killers work their way up. You know what I mean? I just can't. me personally, I don't know. This is my opinion. This man didn't just kill this girl and just automatically do that.
Yeah.
I'm just sorry.
It,
They need
it
to.
had to be a build up.
Yeah, it had to be
Years
like.
before.
Yeah, it had to be. I'm just sorry because for the fact that, in my opinion, that was just something you were just wanting to do. Like most times, serial killers like work their way up. That is not something you just had the urge to do on the first time. I'm just sorry.
And it seemed like it was proficient at it.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know what I mean? Like, but of course, y'all, the remains were found to be Sade's, unfortunately. And it was sad because her birthday was actually coming up. Her family and friends did do like a balloon release and everything. Her birthday was May the 10th. So she, they did have like a celebration of life for her type of deal. But even still, they have not found all of her body parts. And the mom, was kind of pleading with his family, saying that somebody knows something, and she just wants all of her baby, just so that they can give her, let her rest in peace and give her a proper burial. But he appeared in court and he pled not guilty. He's currently being held on a $5 million bond. There has not been a single motive provided as to why he allegedly did what he did. He actually appeared in court again just yesterday. We're recording this on June the 6th. He appeared in court on June the 5th. And his attorney actually requested that he be given a laptop so that he can review the evidence in his case. And additionally, they requested that the search warrant of his house be unsealed, but not like unsealed for the public, just unsealed for the state and the defense. Now, the judge, who was Judge Mark Sanders, he did grant the request to unseal the search warrant request, but he denied the request for a laptop because, like, bro, you in jail. What?
What do
A
you mean?
laptop? No, you don't need it. If you need to review evidence, you do that. Your lawyer come to the jail and meet you, and y'all review evidence together. That's
In my opinion, they don't even need to do that. He was there, so
you
what do he
there.
need to review evidence for?
They
You were
see you.
there.
They see you driving her car solo dolo, seeing you lighting on
Mm-hmm.
fire, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
people have ring cameras. Everywhere is surveillance.
Yeah.
I don't need to
And
be
you
mindful of this.
and you're playing with people. First, you're saying you're pleading not guilty, wasting taxpayers' dollars. That's what pissed me off. And then you want him to review like evidence. Dude, you were there. You don't need to review anything
Right.
at all.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Hang it up.
Yeah.
So he actually will appear in court again in July. I will be following that. Now, in the meantime, between time, Sade's family also filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Maxwell. Her mother, who is Sheena Scarborough, she's seeking damages for wrongful death, violation of the Wisconsin Constitution, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, in that filing, the family says that after the quick sale of the house that was believed to be where Sade was killed, there was a finger found on the property allegedly belonging to Sade. However, the sheriff's office denied that statement and said that at no point during the investigation did they or any other law enforcement agency discover a finger or any body part at the suspect's former home. But so did they just pull that out of thin air?
That's too much to pull out of thin air. No. They found it.
And y'all can look this up online. It's a lawsuit. You can go look it up. Look up the I don't know what it's called, affidavit or something. Look it
Mm-hmm.
up because I looked it up and I pulled it straight from the lawsuit. Okay,
But
so
listen, can you imagine getting ready to purchase a home that someone was brutally murdered in and you had no clue?
they ain't gonna tell them either. These realtors, they about the money. They not gonna tell them. You not gonna know unless you just somebody tell you, a neighbor or something tell you.
Yeah. Or like if you read the newspaper and
Mm-hmm.
you look up the address and because sometimes they do put the address on where the crime happened in a newspaper.
But and not everybody watch the news because I don't. I only
Yeah.
found out about this case through TikTok.
That's right. That's right.
Unless it's on, people like me, unless the address on TikTok, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I'm the same way, But one point I wanted to make. There allegedly his father was going into the house in the midst of it being a crime scene. I don't think forgive me if this is not correct, but I believe I read where his father, Maxwell's father, was going in the house, and I don't think the police had released the house yet for anybody to enter to it, and they saw him removing things from the house. And they asked, of course, people saw this and they asked police, like, is he able to do that? They was like, they can't stop him. And I was like, what? I was like, because this is a crime scene.
If that is true,
Yeah.
he needs to be locked up too, because now you're what's the word? You are
Accessory. I mean, not accessory.
it is it's
Accessory. Okay.
accessory to the crime, because you helping
Yeah.
him get rid of evidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Like,
again, we don't get the same effort and the same
yeah.
energy as black
Yeah.
men and black
Yeah.
women
Yeah.
in America when we come up missing or we're murdered, domestic violence, whatever the case may be. We don't get that same attention. We don't get that same exertion of energy in our cases, because it's like people could care less, because under no circumstances, if that is true, under no circumstances should anybody be allowed in the house that is not authorized to be there.
Because that is, as brutal as this attack was, like that house would be shut down for a long time. And,
Yeah.
and especially, and I want to go back to the blood situation because that baffles me. That's the easy thing. But, like you just said, I feel deeply that they are trying to avoid having a huge investigation in which they would have to do more investigating because there possibly could be more victims. They don't want to put the energy into it, and that's heartbreaking because you know I thought that when police officers, investigators, when they take an oath, because all of them take an oath, you're to protect everybody. But unfortunately, we see in the system and we see on the news.
Not in 2024, and that goes the
No.
same for medical staff too. Those who take that same oath to
Yes.
protect and stuff like that. No, not in 2024, baby. I'm scared on all ends
Yeah.
because we're not protected.
Yes.
Nobody. Let's just be real. I mean, at this point, they so desperate to have people in these positions, they not even vetting them correctly. It's like, that's why I be at home. Not to say things can't happen at home. Of course they can. But y'all won't find me out here for real. If you do,
Exactly.
I'm somewhere eating tacos. That's the only place you're going to find me at. Or Longhorn. Okay? Only
Either
place
one.
you're going to find me at. But yeah, so her family also requested rights and financial gain to any present or future use of either Sade's or Maxwell's image, including any media-like movies or books. So, people quick to. I'm surprised Tubi ain't got a movie already. They be quick with it. Okay.
It's coming. If this ain't Lifetime, it's coming.
And so the mom's attorney who's representing her in this lawsuit is Verona Swanigan, or Verona. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. She said there's no specific dollar amount that they're looking for. They're going to leave it up to a jury to determine damages, but they are also using drones to try to locate the rest of her remains. Because, like I said, they haven't found all of her body parts, just a few of them. So the family very much does want the rest of her body parts so that they can lay her. Yeah, that $5 million bond, buddy, you ain't going out, and nobody better not bail him out. We don't want him.
Yeah.
This is a case. I don't agree with capital punishment. This is a case I will not be mad. I will not bat a single eye if they give him the death penalty.
Yeah, I was thinking that earlier. I said, you know what? If they were, I typically, I try not to share my opinion on that because it's a little controversial. But in this case, I don't care what happened to him.
Mm-mm.
I don't care. Like, if they want to do the fire squad, if they want to do, because I know I heard during COVID that, they couldn't get the medicine to do lethal injection. So if you want to do the firing squad, I don't even think it should be left up to him In
Right.
what way?
I feel like the family, if anybody, the family should determine what his punishment is. If it does come down to capital punishment, I feel like they should be given the option to determine how he leaves here, because they didn't have no say so in how he did their baby, how he did
Yeah.
Sade. Like, and like again, as my sister stated before, I just caution single men and single women out here that are dating. A lot of people use online dating now, so that's cool, fine, and dandy. But just be safe, be careful. Now, in this situation, I feel like she may have went home with him and thought it was okay because he used to work at the place she was at. So I can see people kind of saying, "Oh, I know him, such and such," kind of like vetting him and stuff like that. But then I don't know what happened when they got behind closed doors. Again, they don't have a motive. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. But my thoughts, prayers are with this family. And rest in peace, Sade Robinson. It's heartbreaking because she was supposed to graduate in May. She was going into the Air Force. Life taking way too soon. 19, y'all. She was 19 going on 20. She was about to be 20 May the 10th. So,
Yeah. So young, you know what I mean? It's so heartbreaking. I mean, it's heartbreaking doing these cases. This is not one, sometimes me and Toya, I feel like that's what sets us apart in our podcast. Sometimes in cases we can find a little humor, but this case you just really cannot. Because you think about every case involving murder and stuff is, horrible. But when you have young people like this with their lives ahead of them, to have their life taken away in such a disgusting and traumatic and brutal way is totally heartbreaking. It's not to, I don't want to blame her at all, and but this, I just want to give some pointers when it comes to dating. You have to date safely. So she did all the right things though. She shared her location, she was snapping her friends, but I can tell, she thought that she knew this person.
mm-hmm.
And this is a cautionary tale. You can know someone without really knowing someone. You know what I mean?
And me, I always say you will never truly 100% know a person. I don't care
Exactly.
who it is. I don't care if it's friends, family, mama, daddy, sister, brother, husband, whoever. You will never 100%
Know
truly know
someone.
a person.
Yes.
I just feel like that you can't, because you have to think we change. The Toya I am today is not the Toya I was in 2014 or 2010. So people who knew me back then don't know me now, and vice versa. So there's a lot of like, we're ever evolving.
Yes.
So, she did all the right things.
She
Did
definitely did. She
But that
definitely
will
did.
tell you sometimes even that will not stop people like this.
Yeah. And like I said, y'all, share your location. Don't go home with nobody. Don't go home with anybody. Have your own transportation. Don't let nobody ride with you. Honestly, if they ain't got no vehicle, that ain't somebody you need to be with no way. I mean, that's just my
Why
opinion.
we in my car?
Right.
I'm gonna meet you there. Me being
Right.
me, I'm not.
We gon' we're gonna be in separate vehicles.
And I'm going home by myself, and I'm not going home until I see you leave the parking lot. Like, I'm very, very cautious, y'all. I don't play that. I don't play that. I don't play that. I
Yeah.
haven't, like, when I go on dates, I have to vet them. I do background checks. I do social media checks. About 10 people got my location. I be knowing their mama and their baby mama before I go on the first date. Because I need to know what I'm getting myself into. I dig deep. I'm not lying.
Well,
I'm just,
listen,
I'm
I'm
being,
not mad at it though. In today's times, you have to be like that.
yeah,
Like, and this might be controversial. Carry some protection too.
yeah.
Like in today's time, you might have to carry some protection because, you
Don't
know,
run up on me. I,
right.
I keep it on me.
Yes.
I keep it on me. Don't run up on me. Please don't.
Yeah. At
Save
all.
your family the stress.
Yeah.
Cause I promise you, I will smile at my mugshot to protect myself and my family.
And y'all, my sister's telling the truth. She will do that. Me too, though. Like
I
mess
don't
with
play
my
my
family.
or my family.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
it's gonna you before it be any one of us.
Exactly.
So y'all just be like, please, please, please be aware. Like my daddy said, watch your back at all times. Like my head stay on the swivel. I peep the scene continuously. I like y'all. It's 2024. People out here is crazy, and you could just be walking down the street, minding your business, and people just attack you for no reason. This happened several times.
Yeah. That's like just a couple days ago. This woman and her 3-year-old son were at the grocery store,
Yeah,
and a woman just walked up and stabbed the
yeah.
little boy, and he passed away.
I mean, and they looked at the cameras in the grocery store. And I think it was a Kroger, and they didn't see no interaction between the woman and this lady and her son. She
Didn't
just
even know each other.
just stabbed him. Like what? I
But
can't.
y'all, that's just exactly. But that's just proof, y'all. People are not well. Whether they're undiagnosed, whether they refuse to get help, because there are some people who refuse to get help. It's a lot of circumstances. So that's why we have to be, visual. When we're out in public, you have to be, like, not that you can't relax, but like monitor your surroundings, know where the exits are if you're in, a building. Like I don't know. That is my thing. When I'm somewhere, I have to see where the exits are. That's one thing I'm peeping when I get in there.
That's the first thing I'm blocking. I
Yeah,
don't like going in places that's one way in, one way out.
exactly.
If it ain't no back door, side door, or something, I feel very uncomfortable. I do not like going in nowhere where it's one way in, one way out. Because then I'm like, no, I'm going to sit by the door. Okay?
Yes.
Because when it's time to get out of and I done been in some situations back in my clubbing days where they got the popping off, shooting and stuff. Baby, y'all better come on, let's go.
Was
I
were you a track star?
was, and I was bigger than I am now. But when I tell you, when the guns and the bullets went to flying, I was ducking, baby. I was out of there. I was in my Chevrolet Malibu within 5 seconds. And I told my crew, I said, you better get in here or you is just stuck, baby. Come on.
Exactly.
No, that's why you can't even. We don't have like good clean fun like that no more. But now I'm more of like a lounge type. I'll have a couple cocktails, But
Yeah.
back in the club, honey, fights breaking out, all kind of stuff. So yeah, it's okay to unwind, have your fun, but just be safe.
Yeah, like limit your when you're on dates and stuff, limit your alcohol consumption so you can be aware at all times. You know what I mean? Especially with the decisions you're making. But y'all, so many prayers go to the family of Sade. Like like I said, from the moment I heard about this young lady, it just really broke my heart because that's someone who was robbed of their future, so prematurely. It's just heartbreaking. I mean, it's no words. It's just so heartbreaking. And I hope the family, you know, gets every coin from this lawsuit. I mean, every coin. Because I mean, allegedly he comes from a well-off family. That house was real. The house that I saw a couple visuals of the house where Maxwell lived. It wasn't no shabby house. He looks like he got a little bit of money. I think his family is a little well off, I guess. But y'all, let us know your thoughts on this case. And also, I wanted to say this. Someone left a comment under our YouTube video, was talking about a case that had already transpired, and it's the Micah case we just uploaded on Monday. I don't care how long the cases have been. I'm gonna speak for these women, not speak for these women, but I'm gonna talk about these cases to get the awareness out there to help someone else. So I don't care if the case was a month ago or 6 years ago. I don't care. You're going to know about these cases so we don't forget these individuals. So,
Now,
sir,
y'all, we don't just cover current cases. We cover old cases and everything
yes,
between.
yes,
And that case is very much not completely dissolved for the simple fact that the family is still fighting it. But if you're going to be on social media and you follow people that create content, then you should know a lot of these videos and things are pre-recorded.
yes. And, for you, sir, you could have skip the video and not watched it. I mean, thank you for your view. However, you could have bypassed the video, not watched it at all, and kept your opinion to yourself. But
maybe our content just is not for you.
Yeah, but like that's one thing I don't understand. Like, if I don't like the content, I'm not miserable enough to leave a comment. I just go about my day.
Right. It ain't never been big for me.
And
And
you should do the same.
I don't even read the comments. So I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Yes.
I read comments because I don't care.
Yeah.
What I do care about is those that enjoy true crime that interact with us on TikTok. I care about them people. But we've had negative comments on TikTok. I could care less.
Yeah.
If you don't, but I think it's insane for you to not like content and then like it's just like this one girl who's a huge content creator. I'm not gonna say her name here. Somebody made a comment saying I'm unfollowing. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Like that's worse than them people when you work in a call center. You've lost my business. Well, good, because you know what? You weren't paying your bill no way.
Here comes 10 more. We lost one. Here comes 10 more.
Yeah, bro. Y'all be so pressing. Nobody even be caring. That's the gag. That's the realty.
Yes. No one cares.
No one.
But as far as women like Micah and Sade, no, we're gonna speak their name. We're going to push it till we get the case out there, so people can be aware, so people can fight for justice. I mean, I think in Sade's case and in Micah's case, they're both gonna get justice. But y'all, we even though we kid around TikTok, we really do care about these victims.
Mm-hmm.
We really do. So yeah, so that's all I wanted to say, sir.
And age has no relevance.
Yes.
To what is going on, like how, and when I say age, I mean like the time frame. I don't give a damn if it was 10 years old. Yeah, it matters. They matter.
I don't care if it was 50 years old.
They matter. We covered cases more than 50 years old. They matter. Like that's how I know you're not familiar with our content, but it's okay.
Yeah, but thank you for your view.
All hearts and minds clear.
All hearts and minds are clear. Like I said, many blessings and many prayers to the families. My heart goes out to her family, and I pray that they're able to move forward. And it's going to be painful. These are one of these situations where I understand you have to forgive, but this is one of those things you really gonna have to work through, to forgive. And you'll never forget, but you really have to work through this, because this is a such a traumatic case.
Not only that, thought prayers to that person who found the body part. I imagine they're very much traumatized as well.
So. Absolutely. I cannot imagine what it was like finding a severed leg and all the I cannot imagine. I know for me, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night after something like that. I'm just sorry.
Right.
But y'all, earlier I said women's. I meant women, the two women. I'm country. I know how to talk, I promise. I'm a college educated woman.
They know what you meant. Like old people say Walmart.
or hospital. She laid up there at the hospital.
Who got the body?
Who got the body? Listen, okay, I'm gonna talk about this, and then we're gonna go. It was a thread on TikTok yesterday where they were like things you want them to stop doing at Black funerals. And it was so funny talking about fighting over obituaries.
Yes. Why somebody tried to take my obituary at my uncle's funeral? I was like, girl, you should have got. This is my uncle. You ain't even no relation.
Right.
Earlier.
Right. They were like, stop taking pictures of the body. Stop taking group pictures at funerals. Like,
stop asking who got the body.
Who got the body? It doesn't matter.
Like, what you gonna do if it ain't the funeral home you prefer?
Like, you gonna pay for it?
Like, but I think it's just old habits die hard, and especially Black people. Black people, listen, we gotta get together. Cause stop asking folk that.
Well, you know the sound. They be like, Black people. Black people.
I'm gonna need to say my babies, my sweet babies,
my sweet babies.
I love us for real.
Right, Adrian, that's a baby.
Funeral stuff because Why are you taking pictures of people in caskets? Like, no.
You know how many times I've been on social media and like it's like someone, you know, has passed away, you're doing like a dedication post and I'm going through them and then boom, there's the body. And I'm
That,
like,
I don't
I
like
should
that.
have not have seen that.
I primarily seen that on Facebook, which I ain't on no more.
Yeah,
Y'all get
same.
all the time over there on Facebook. I don't want to scroll down and see your granny in a casket. I'm sorry. May she rest in peace, but don't traumatize me by seeing
No.
people on my timeline.
I'm already the type of person I do not go to funerals because
I
you
know.
know when you are in small towns, I call them professional funeral goers.
Yeah.
They go into everybody's funeral.
I
I
don't.
don't go to a funeral unless I have to.
If it's not immediate family,
Yes,
baby, I love you. God bless.
yes,
I would much rather remember them how they were here on earth. And my best friend knows this about me. I do not like funerals.
yes.
If I don't have to go, count me out. I'll send my condolences.
Same.
You need me? Now I'm gonna go to the family house. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if I know of you and you ain't
Yeah.
in the family, I'm gonna go by the family house, take some water, some chicken or something. You know, where everybody always bring chicken and sandwiches, some waters, drinks. I'm gonna do that and send my condolences, but don't count on me to be at no funeral.
Mm-hmm. That's
No.
just not something like I've never been that way. You know, just to go to a funeral, just to be going. Like it has to be someone I know, like a family member or someone close. You know,
And
family.
see, we gonna get out of here, but is it just me? But do it seem like some people, like those professional funeral goers, like they be having a time at the funeral?
Yeah.
Like, what is
Yeah. Right. Like it's always been disturbing to me. Like
this? Is not a social gathering.
no.
It's,
Mm-mm.
these people grieving, and then the people who just go for the food. I ain't got time for y'all either. Stop doing that.
Or the people who get to the food before the family get to the
Before the
food.
family get to the food. Girl, real quick, when one of my uncles passed away a couple years ago, people were showing up at our family home 7 o'clock in the morning, ready to eat.
What time was the funeral?
This was before the funeral. You know how when somebody passed the whole week leading up to the funeral, people come to the house every day.
Yes.
This was like a day or two before the funeral, so people just come and and it was a lot of food. I'm not gonna hold you, but for you to show up at 7 o'clock in the morning ready to eat
It's
and
crazy.
grieving,
It's insane.
that is some nasty work. Like,
And y'all, another point I want to make, y'all stop serving the food that most likely put the person in the ground anyway.
oh my God, Shamir.
Like the fried chicken, the macaroni and cheese, the roll, the potato salad. Listen, I don't be bad at it, but like let's normalize choosing a different setup.
I want the fried chicken and the macaroni and cheese. Personally.
Oh my stars.
I want it. But
How did we get here? I don't know how we got here.
they always have a fruit tray, little sandwich tray if people want to switch it up.
I have never been to a funeral that has served a fruit tray or a sandwich tray. Never.
I've been to several.
It's fried chicken.
It's variety.
Not where I'm. No. Fried chicken, baked chicken, mac and cheese, green beans, potato salad, roll. Now, some would always make a bomb pound cake, which I'm not mad at.
Right.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
But as a community, can we do better?
And you're going to have tea, lemonade, and water.
Yes, nothing else.
Now, we switched it up last time somebody passed in my family. We had a fish fry.
That's wonderful. I love that.
Because the church is right there at our house. So we had a fish fry. People came to the house or whatever. But I ain't mad at the chicken and macaroni and cheese. Now, you can keep your potato salad because I'm not a fan of it. But, and the green beans, I'm okay with that.
I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying, like, can we venture out sometime?
What you want them to serve seafood? You want crab legs?
Serve some of that out of wedlock baby shower food or something.
Now that would be great. That's a good idea.
That's
we give y'all options.
Listen, we can do some charcuterie boards. We can do a dessert one. We can do a meat and cheese one.
Nah, girl, you know they going to onions.
I'm not mad at that though.
They going to Onions.
I'm not mad at that. That's always the freshest chicken.
Yeah.
You can't get the breast. The breasts are dry. But y'all, we got to get out of here. I'm not talking about chicken.
This train done derailed.
We done went from funerals to chicken to we have went anyway. Y'all, please, you said what?
I said okay.
Okay, y'all. It has been great, y'all. Like I said, continued prayers for the family. I will continue to follow this case, because he hasn't been sentenced yet. So I'll continue to follow this case. Y'all, let us know your thoughts on this case. You can leave us comments under our YouTube, Instagram, or our, we don't have a Snapchat, I'm sorry. Our TikTok. Took me a minute. Leave your comments and thoughts on there. Y'all, catch us back next week. We upload now on Mondays at 1 instead of Thursdays. Catch us every Thursday. No, every Monday at 1 for a fresh new video, y'all. We gonna get out of here. We love y'all and thank y'all so much for your support. Love y'all. Catch you on the next one.